Upon meeting Leona for the first time, the prefect's two reaction options were changed to better appeal to an English-speaking audience, to, "Please, I don't have dental insurance," and, "I can't afford to pay anything." Originally, they were a reaction sound, and the realization that Leona is threatening to punch them, without referencing money. In reaction to being told that broken eggs are no big deal, Deuce originally says, "You don't get to decide whether it's a big deal or not." This was changed into a cute joke on Ien, of, "You don't get to call my eggs stupid, you don't get to call any eggs stupid." Originally, the Hartslobule students then apologize to the chickens when they run away. In the English language adaptation, they do not. Explained in more detail in a separate video, Deuce uses very proper speech patterns at NRC, possibly to compensate for his years of rudeness where he would do things like not use sensei with his teachers. Not using an honorific is called yobiste in Japanese, hence this line in the original game. Since the English language does not have a word for, "I would not refer to my teachers using the proper honorific," Deuce's line was rewritten to, "I called my teachers names."
Yeah. 俺の魔法なんか、寮長の魔法に比べれば子供のおもちゃみたいなものだ。レベルが違うよ。
Originally, Trey does not call Riddle's magic a weapon. This line was added to his English language dialogue.
頭に耳があるから、サバニャ漁だぞ。
Saba is Japanese for mackerel, and is also Floyd's nickname for Deuce. Nia is meow. Both Grimm and Chinya regularly incorporate the Nia sound into their dialogue to reference their feline characteristics. This is also referenced in Chinya's nickname. Since this doesn't translate into English, Sabania became banana, and Chenya's following line changed from, "Mackerels swim in the ocean, do they not? I on the other hand, am a cat, not a mackerel," to, "Bananas grow on trees, do they not? I, on the other hand, am a cat."
もちろん必要があればそうするさ。でも、俺にはあいつを叱ることなんかできない。
This line ties back to another of Trey's lines about his family being lectured by Riddle's mother for 5 hours, which was also changed for the English language adaptation.
Riddle's mother came over to my house and, with 10 times more force than Riddle himself, lectured my entire family for 5 hours straight.
Having experienced what it feels like to be scolded by Riddle's mother, he finds that he cannot bring himself to do the same thing to Riddle, who had to suffer it his whole life. That is what leads to this line in Book 1 about being unable to scold him. Trey is refusing to make Riddle suffer in that way any more than he already has. Since Trey and Riddle's backstory was rewritten on EN to Trey being lectured by his own family, his line about being unable to scold Riddle was also changed, to, "I don't think the situation calls for it."
大掛かりな魔法なんだ。まさかあれ全部で突っ込んでくる気か。
首を張れろってな。なんでトランプしか出てこないんだよ。
If you were wondering why Deuce and Riddle continue speaking even after the English language subtitles have stopped appearing, it is because details like the attacking trees and Riddle realizing that all of his spells are turning into playing cards have been removed.
オーバーブロッドって何なんだぞ。あいつめちゃくちゃ邪悪な感じに変わっちまった。
This was also the case with Grimm, with a line about how Riddle has become villainous removed from EN. Described in more detail in a separate video, the Japanese language has 4 different alphabets, which means, in Twist, it is possible for characters to say one thing aloud while meaning something entirely different. The game used this with its unique magics, with Trey saying "doodle suit" aloud, when the actual meaning of his spell is, "Let's paint the roses." Since the English language only has one alphabet, the English language adaptation of the game chose to ignore the doodle suit pronunciation and turn Trey's spell into its meaning of, "Let's paint the roses." During the Overblot battle, Trey's unique magic is listed only as its pronunciation on JP, instead of its pronunciation layered on top of its meaning. Since we already know that when Trey says "doodle suit" what he actually means is "let's paint the roses," this wasn't a problem on JP. But there might have been a miscommunication on EN. Instead of Trey's usual, let's paint the roses, spell, or even its pronunciation of, doodle suit, the English language adaptation introduced an all-new spell that Trey has never actually used, called, Sleight of Hand. In the original game, Riddle's mother leaves child Riddle alone for 1 hour every day so that she can accomplish an unspecified task.
お母様は少し用事があるから、また1時間後にね。
In the English adaptation, however, this line has been rewritten to say that she is preparing lesson materials for Riddle. If Riddle's mother were really preparing lesson materials, it could have been specified. But it was left intentionally vague in the original game, the manga, and the novel adaptations. The only version of the story where Riddle's mother prepares lesson materials for 1 hour every day is the English adaptation of the game. Towards the end of Book 1, Trey and Cater have a conversation about how Trey had realized on his own that Cater has been hiding his dislike of sweet foods, but chose not to say anything about it.
その思ってたけど言わないっての良くないと思うな俺。
Cater reprimands him with, "Your whole, not saying what you think thing is really not good." On EN, this was changed to Cater reprimanding himself, instead.
覚悟しておけ。
Leona's, "Be prepared," line was removed from the end of Book 1. It was also removed from Books 2 and 3.
覚悟しとけ。覚悟しとけ。覚悟しとけ。覚悟しておけ。
But it was retained in Book 6.
覚悟しろ。
For the curious, the word that Scar actually says in the Japanese language dub of the animated Lion King is junbi, which was replaced by the word kakugo in the stage musical adaptation. Of the two, kakugo seems like the more accurate translation, and it is also the word used by Leona.